I have covered Jack the Ripper on my YouTube channel a while ago, but I stopped because of Dark Annie. Obviously, we've all heard of Jack the Ripper, but when I started doing Jack the Ripper cases, nobody warned me about these women. People were just talking about him and all the crazy shenanigans he did. But when I opened that energy, some of the spirits were, normal, interesting victims. But then there was Dark Annie. We'll talk about her a little later in this video. But the good thing is that these women are loud and want to share their story. It got so bad with Dark Annie that I had to get Eileen Warnos to interject because she would not leave me alone. Day in and day out, even after I moved on from her spirit. She kept popping in. It wasn't pleasant. Now let's go back to Whitechapel in 1888. The streets were wet and foggy. Everyone was basically drunk. And the first woman, Polly, never screamed. She didn't run. She thought it was just another night, another client. But this night, they call this the night the legend was born. Now, when I tune into Polly's energy, the first thing I feel is exhaustion. And she was drinking, but she was tired this night. She had been fighting for years to survive. And she decided that she needed to make more money. So she walked in the streets. And she wasn't scared because she had done it many times before. And there was a man who was calm and collective and looked like he made money. He might have even been somebody recognizable to her. He didn't approach her like a predator would. He blended in and he communicated with her. And normally when people are interested in what her services were, they don't necessarily communicate. So it was a nice change. In that moment, Jack the Ripper was born. Now let's talk about Dark Annie. Now this spirit was one of the more raunchy spirits I have ever engaged with. And I don't mind raunchy energy. I really don't. She came in like a drunk best friend at 2 a.m. with no filter. I heard things that were so absurd that I couldn't even put it on YouTube because of the way she communicated with me. She's funny, but very inappropriate. And she enjoyed being his victim. Now, I don't think it was enjoyable to her during, but from what she shows me, it was something that she feels fascinated about. She is happy that she gets to be remembered as one of his victims. And beneath the humor and the inappropriateness, I see that Annie had a fight in her, and she did fight him. She was strong-willed and strong-tongued, and it got her in trouble before. And it was almost like a kink for him. He enjoyed her being so extra and out there, and she called him every name in the book, and the rest of the women didn't necessarily go in that direction. Now, when it comes to him, things I learned connected to Annie was that he was not someone who struggled to make incisions. His hands did not shake. His movements were precise, which led me to believe that he was somebody connected to the medical field. And he was able to get away with it a second time, and he was really feeling the urge, like he just had to keep going. He enjoyed not getting caught. And then he carried on with his life and pretended to be somebody that he really wasn't, and having this secret. I also see he had one hell of an issue with women of the night. There was some biblical energy surrounding it. I feel like he was trying to do God's work. At least that's what he convinced himself of. Now we might start having some energy surrounding Dark Annie again here because I mentioned her. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But we will be back for part 2 because there's a lot more. And in part 3, I'll be announcing who I believe it is. Please let me know in the comments all of your thoughts on this. I want to hear about it.